All right, everyone, welcome back into another fantasy golf video. Going to be breaking down round 2 here of the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am, showing you guys my favorite round 2 showdown picks, as well as giving you guys some bets to be on, potentially matchup bets, 2-ball bets, or some underdog and PrizePicks prop bets. But first, just a quick recap from yesterday. So guys, looking at the bets that we were on yesterday, a decent day as a whole. I would say kind of got a little bit unlucky with some of the first round leader bets. You look at Patrick Cantlay, who ended up having a birdie try on 18, a 10-foot birdie try on 18, ends up missing that one. So we didn't get that chopped up. And then we actually saw Lee Hodges miss a few short ones coming in on the back nine. Ends up shooting -6. On hole 17, he ends up making a bogey it was like a 3-foot putt, and he misses that. Bounces back, makes a birdie on 18 to finish -6. So a little bit tilting there, but still like to see that the data was kind of giving us some good spots there. And then matchup bets. I know in the video yesterday I said I'm not seeing any matchup bets that I like. I woke up in the morning, I'm like, all right, let's dive in. Let's see if we can find some bets. I ended up putting these out there for you guys as well. Ended up doing pretty well there. And then 2-ball bets. I did end up adding in another bet. And I kind of mentioned I wasn't going to be attacking 2-ball bets as much. I'm kind of kicking myself for that. I know there's a little bit more success to be had out there using the tool, but Harry Hall ends up missing here. And then the other two end up hitting pretty easily there. So at the very least, just kind of using these picks that I put out, or even in the video yesterday, you should have been able to have a decent profit, or at least a push in that regard. The profit really came on PrizePicks or Underdog again, where guys, we have only missed one bet on the year, and we haven't missed a single slip on the year in terms of slips that I've given out to you guys thus far this PGA season. That's gonna end, like, just full disclosure, but it's been pretty nice that we have had this good run thus far. It's been a crazy good stretch. We'll show you guys that real quick. So yes, the Sam Burns slip does end up hitting here. So that was a full cash on an Underdog. We actually got Aaron Ride to hit both of his prop bets where he did not make more than 2.5 bogeys or worse. So that ends up hitting there as well. And then this one ends up as a full cash. Now we had Sam Burns under 5 birdies or better with the full kind of thought that he could end up getting to 5 birdies, and he actually makes a birdie on 18 to get to 5 exactly. We knew that was in the realm of possibilities, but again, very solid start thus far this year. Again, only one bet miss that I've given out thus far, PrizePicks wise, and no slips have missed. Knock on wood there, but it's going to end, guys. It's going to end. Like, that, you can't keep up that type of streak throughout the season. But very, very fun stuff thus far. Now, I do want to go ahead here and get into round 2 here, kind of looking at the weather here for you guys. So the biggest thing that we need to look at is the weather here. We do see that the wind is projected to go down a little bit. It depends on which site you actually look at here. I like to stay with the PGA Tour site for you guys, but if we look at kind of the hourly, we are seeing that the winds are going down throughout the night, which is normal, but looking at some other sites, they are projecting it to not be as windy as Friday, although it could end up raining. That could actually create a delay. Could end up just being an annoying day DFS-wise. How do we go about attacking that? It makes it more difficult. Will it play more difficult because of the wind or the weather, the rain? I think it will compared to Thursday a little bit, but just how much is the question. That's a concern that we have, and it's honestly something that at this point, as I'm recording this video, does seem to be like a little bit of a guessing game. So if you are placing prop bets or maybe even showdown picks, you might want to factor in the weather there a little bit more. And then just real quickly, guys, I do want to mention that the golfers that are going off of Spyglass Golf Course tomorrow, this is their score on Pebble Beach yesterday, or in round 1. Easier scoring there as expected on Pebble Beach. And then we look at Pebble Beach. These are the golfers that are going off of Pebble Beach in round 2. So play on Spyglass. A little bit more difficult, but still not bad. Again, those numbers could actually end up going up a little bit in round 2 just due to the weather. But for showdown purposes, we do know that we are probably just attacking that Pebble Beach course that played a little bit easier. Even though Russell Henley, the leader, ends up on the more difficult course, which, good for him. GPP play Russell Henley. He's always something that can pop. Kind of mentioned him and Justin Thomas were about the same option. Anyways, let's go ahead now and get into the showdown picks. And so looking at round 2 showdown, I do think we want to break it down by course, probably just looking at players that are going off of Pebble Beach golf links. And for what it's worth, guys, I'm very tilted. I mentioned on yesterday's video, 1, have a newborn, don't have as much time to maybe play some bets as I would like. But on top of that, yesterday, the internet went out for about most of the day. Okay, it didn't get back fully until like 9 p.m. my time, which meant I wasn't able to enter showdown contest as much as I typically would in round 1. I ended up taking down a GPP on a small contest, and the next person was like 20 points off. When, like, literally probably $6 wagered, ended up winning like 35 bucks. It's just like, that's the only contest I have available. Just super tilting in that regard. That freaking internet outage probably cost me, a decent amount of money in that regard, but whatever. Not going to complain about a decent day showdown wise, but we go ahead and get into those showdown picks, guys. A lot of the top showdown plays would regardless be playing here on Pebble Beach in round 2, which is good to see. So we're looking at Scotty, we're looking at Kyle Morikawa, Tommy Fleetwood potentially as well, Rory, Justin Thomas, like all the top names that we would potentially be on. We know we're going to be on them in this round. I do want to call it like regression, which players are expected to play much better in round 2 than they did in round 1. Tommy Fleetwood, Adam Scott had a terrible round. Matt Fitzpatrick. Now, do we necessarily need to go out of our way to target them today? No. The way I like to use regression is going to be mostly for golfers that could potentially go out and score a little bit more. That's how I'd want to go about using that. And so the way I'm going to go about attacking this slate is I did a little data update here in the custom model, guys. So what I did is like main course and secondary course is how I broke it down. So if you guys are someone that wants to attack Pebble Beach specifically, that's the main course. You just click on that only. But I also do think we could potentially put in a slight AM emphasis as well into the data. We're trying to target more of those early AM tee times that are going off of Pebble. But in general, if you didn't want to do that, if you just want to attack it with Pebble tee times, you can do that. Scroll down here to the bottom, and then we're going to click export. I'm going to put this into the PGA lineup builder. So in the lineup builder, we click on upload data, scroll down a little bit, you can pull it up if we want, upload the CSV file. Okay, click save. That'll have all those records in there then. And so we'll see that the players that are not going off of Pebble are going to be zeroed out. If you guys don't want to do that, you don't have to. The typical round 1 projections would then be adjusting correctly, but we're just going to run this so you guys can get a general feel of what we'd be looking at here for this slate in terms of players we'd be going out of our way to target, maybe an optimal build approach for you guys. That's kind of how simple it is to go ahead and attack this. Now, this is the weird part of the season where we kind of have to be doing it this way, course specific stuff. Tommy Fleetwood, the data loves Tommy Fleetwood this week. I do not. I've mentioned that a bunch. Does like Adam Scott a decent amount as well, but not getting to the studs as much as I would personally like here. Now, let's see if I do my typically like to do 30% max exposure, 3 unique players. That's typically what I like to do for Showdown, so I'm doing that. Click generate again. Much more balanced here, I would say, in terms of players that we're getting. Still probably too much Tommy Fleetwood. I'll probably go ahead on the back and limit him to about 20%. But now we're getting to 30% Scotty Scheffler. I think that number is going to be higher. He'll probably end up being 50%. I mean, he looked good, right? The worry was that he could come out slow. And the worry would be that some of the other players were cheaper than him, would be able to outproduce him, which I would say that worry's coming true. Like JT's playing well. He's projected to play well. Kyle Morikawa had like a slow back 9, missed some short putts, but maybe he's someone that can go off. Rory's playing well. And then Patrick Cantlay, kind of the easy click. He's also playing well. So interesting there, but perfectly fine with those builds. You guys get the sense of what we're looking at there. Let's go ahead and jump on into the betting side of things. Okay, so yes, I was kicking myself for telling you guys, all right, we probably don't need to bet on a lot of these bets. Most of them ended up kind of hitting. It was very annoying, especially in the ones that were like 2 to 1. Very tilting that they all ended up doing pretty well. But again, I just don't like them as much as 3-ball bets, these 2-ball bets, these ones where we're factoring in the tie as a bet there as well. And so really, I do still want to be looking at these ones that are 2 to 1. We do know that the data really likes Willie Z in round 2 here. So you could do him to beat Chris Kirk. Harry Hall, if you guys want to double down on him. Sam Stevens just seems to be playing well though. So I could see if you guys didn't want to get there, would it make sense? And then Adam Scott, he is someone that's projected to play well. Going against Gary Woodland, who won a major on this track. It's tough there as well. But I don't think we want to go too low. But if I had it, I don't want to get too deep. These 5 would be the 5 that I'm going to recommend, though, for you guys, okay? Because I want to be chasing these ones that are at least 2 to 1. So that way, when a bet potentially misses here, at least when another one hits, we are sitting pretty there. Now, we got a little bit lucky that none of them ended up tying in round 1. Hopefully, that doesn't happen again in round 2. That'd be a good thing for us. I'd rather it hit or not hit. Other than that, it becomes a little bit too tilting. Then we're going to go ahead and get into some round bets. So we got FanDuel here, DraftKings, and BetMGM here. Just sorting it by, are we getting any EV bets first and foremost? I want to see that first, and then also does the 9 to 5 data agree with it? So this is kind of fine. So the 9 to 5 data is saying 0% edge here, which whatever. But the fact that we're getting plus EV bet here on BetMGM, this is pretty nice. So we got Davis Thompson beating Austin Eckroat there. Okay, so basically BetMGM is not valuing them properly compared to some of the other books that are giving us this specific matchup bet. So that's a nice thing there. From there, I'm looking at, are we getting bets where the 9 to 5 data is also agreeing with here? Potentially, we could be looking at Stefan Jaeger to beat Lucas Glover here. Okay, it's a decent plus EV bet there as well. Minus 111 there. Okay, so very decent stuff there. But then let's take a peek at the 9 to 5 data. Obviously, this has been how we've been able to have these really good matchup bet days thus far lately. And again, we got Davis Thompson just beating Austin Eckroyd. That's a good bet. Here's kind of an interesting one for BetMGM as well. Taylor Moore being EVR. Okay, decent bet there. And then let's find you guys a DraftKings one. I don't want to feel like I'm forcing it here. We are getting some FanDuel ones and BetMGM ones that I called out already. But we are seeing here potentially Eric Cole beating Lee Hodges at minus 120. Okay, so we're getting a decent amount of good bets there as well. So we got this one. So we're getting about 4 good bets. I have them all highlighted here and scrolling through it so you guys can see that. All decent there. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and jump on into some underdog bets here. Again, if you guys want to use these underdog bets and you've never signed up for underdog before, make sure to use the promo code 925 spelled out. That's just a simple way to help out the channel, and it really does not go unnoticed when people do that. You guys use that promo code, you guys get a 50% deposit match. Very good stuff there. Jumping on into the best bets. We are getting a massive edge here with Tommy Fleetwood, and this just seems like a bad line. I've already betted a decent amount, mostly because the tournament could end up playing more difficult. I know he's someone that really ranks out really well as a showdown pick. I get that, and so that's kind of the tough part about this, and that's kind of the part I hate about this as well. But with the potential for the course to play more difficult tomorrow due to weather, it could be likely that he just doesn't get as many birdies. And then we're getting 2 other bets here. Saeed Tagala to get over 4.5 birdies or better. I don't know if I need to go in on that one too much. I'd probably passing up on that. But if you want to do this, and this will be the bet of the day here for Underdog, fingers crossed that we stay hot, guys. We have not missed this. I'm jinxing it way too much, but we have not missed a slip yet. And it's literally just been me pulling in prop bets straight from the 9 to 5 PrizePicks and Underdog cheat sheet. So very good there, but this will be the bet of the day there on Underdog, 2-slip bet. That way we're not getting our payout reduced that much. But if you guys just want to hammer some of these stroke props that are out there or anything like that, or birdies or better props, you could do that, because I do feel, and hammer the unders, because I do feel like Underdog is a little bit higher than they should be with some of their stroke lines. And with that, let's call out, we are getting some stroke differences as well here, guys. So this is kind of another bet we could run out here real quick. Is a middling opportunity. So we're betting the unders on PrizePicks and then the overs on Underdog. And then just real quickly looking at some bets here on PrizePicks. Do you want to call it these ones right here? These ones, if you look at it, they obviously have a high edge likelihood. This is also measuring like the likelihood for them to tie. So chances are Akshay and Corey Connors will get to 4 birdies or better, but the data would like it a little bit more for them to get the over as well. So the way I tell people to look at it is, all right, take the percent when we have a line that's even here. And so 63%, 62%, and then just minus that by 50, minus that down to 50%. So like look at it, 50-50 push there, okay? But the data is giving it more of a 13% chance favor to get the over there as opposed to it. So it has a really good chance to get a push. That's the bet there, is you're betting on to just be a push, but the data would then be favoring the over at about 13% there. Okay, so that's where that's coming in. And you could go with a straight bet, though, like Sam Burns to get more than 4.5 birdies or better, which is kind of funny from yesterday now. And then we do have that Scotty Scheffler beating Justin Thomas there as well. Not bad. And apologies, guys. I think I just realized, I think this PrizePicks bet was pulling in there for Underdog as well. I know, yeah. Underdog does not give out birdies or better matchups, so apologies for that. This is PrizePicks bet. Okay, so decent edges here as well. So the PrizePicks bet of the day here would be Sam Burns over 4.5 birdies or better, and then we'll do this one, Scotty Scheffler, and also beating Justin Thomas birdies or better. But then with that, guys, we'll go ahead and get into the 9 to 5 bet of the day here. Just a simple approach as well. If you guys just want to bet the middle opportunities that we have here, where you're placing Robert McIntyre and Tommy Fleetwood for their unders and then doing the exact opposite on Underdog, you can do that. Chances are these will get bumped, and then you guys could do Tommy Fleetwood under 5.5 birdies or better. That's another way to go about attacking it. And then I showed you guys the PrizePicks bet slips that I'm also happy to run out with Sam Burns over 4.5 birdies and then Scotty Scheffler beating JT. The issue with PGA is once you start adding in more prop bets, typically your payout is going to be reduced. That's why we're typically sticking to 2-slip bets. But that's going to be all, guys. Just a reminder, all the tools that you saw in this video are available on 9to5sports.com. Check that out. You get access to those for just $10 a month. Give a like, subscribe to the channel. You guys had a good day yesterday. Let me know in the comments section below as well. All right, thanks for watching. Good luck. And as always, let's keep cashing.